There's a down plane used to move inmates around the country. This is their one shot at freedom.
Alaska, the last frontier. Here we are.
Yes, we are.
Your scene partner for a lot of this series, Simone Kessel.
Yes.
I was reading that you guys are not childhood friends, but longtime friends.
Yeah, but Kessie was a lovely young lady from New Zealand that came over early on in her career when we were all doing theatre in Sydney, yeah, a long time ago. Her husband is one of my best friends.
Amazing. And you two obviously play a married couple in this series with a bit of friction in their marriage. How did that inherent relationship that you two have off screen help develop that dynamic on screen?
Well, Simone's not scared to go there with me. She's feisty, you know, she's strong. She's everything, you know, like the part needed. She's a woman that has put Frank together and we've gone back home to Alaska together and we're able to start our relationship, you know, well into, say, our 20-year relationship, which is what Kessie and I have. And then without having to demonstrate that we're together, we felt like there's a level of comfortability and a level of push with each other that we both enjoyed.
How do you think his personal demons affect his perception of characters with kind of, I don't want to say dual personalities, but we as the audience member know a lot more about Levi, a lot more about Bradford from our perspective, because we get to be in certain rooms that Frank isn't necessarily in. Do you think how he views his personal life impacts how his professional relationships shake out?
Frank has empathy. He's made mistakes. His daughter paid the price. So he has an empathy for Sidney, even though everything's gone. But first and foremost, he's a lawman. He's an old-fashioned, you know, I'm going to ride out there and bring you in. He's a lawman that's prepared to give a bit of skin to get a bit of skin. You know, he's prepared to take the pain, take the punch, take the hurt, to still clap the bracelets on you and you know, and make you face the music.
Well said. I'll wrap with this. Wind River was one of my favorite films of way back, what, 2017?
Yeah.
And we're getting the long-awaited sequel now. And I love Kari Skoglund. She directed The Falcon and the Winter Soldier for the Marvel Universe. I think she's a brilliant director, taking over for Taylor Sheridan. Is there anything you can tease about her direction with the Wind River franchise and what flavor she adds to it?
It's extraordinary. It's set within the native community. Martin Sensmeyer is the lead in that. It's got an insane cast. It's a beautiful movie. It's been, you know, locked up with the legalities, but now it's about to come out soon. It's going to surprise you, and it's a lot more. It's a lot more beautiful. It's a lot more cinematic. That was when I saw it about a year and a half ago.
Good. I hope we get to see it on the big screen. That's the way to go. A lot of twists and turns in Wind River, a lot of twists and turns in The Last Frontier. I got 2 episodes left and I'm on the edge of my seat.
Oh, good. Check it out, dude. Finish it up.
Excited. Let's kick off with episode 101. There is a massive single take fight sequence after the plane crashes. I need to get into your head about how this thing was captured, how you shot it, how you blocked it, what the set looked like that day. Walk me through it.
That is all our director, our stunt team. You know, there's probably a half page, maybe a page of description of what happens in the script. And, you know, it's sort of I feel like we described it as like a zombie apocalypse, you know, all these inmates coming out of the woods. But when Sam Hargrave came on to direct it, and he's a guy who has this amazing technical skill of pulling off these crazy one-ers, it's like, okay, let's try this. And at that point, you just stand back, you let the team do their work. You've got cameramen and stuntmen and actors and people. It's this incredible ballet that is choreographed, and it's just, I was just a spectator at that point. It was super cool.
Yeah, it set the tone for some pretty special action throughout the series. But beyond that, the twists and turns of this show are the real money of what you've crafted here.
Thank you.
And it feels familiar because I know that you were heavily involved. You created The Blacklist on network TV.
Yeah.
How did a show like The Blacklist help inform something like The Last Frontier? Were there any lessons you learned on that production of what you wanted to bring to this one? Things like that.
That's interesting. Yes, I think one, it was collaboration is the first thing I learned. I had never written an episode of TV before, The Blacklist, so I was sort of trial by fire, and I was surrounded by incredibly talented people, and I realized that you're always trying to top the twist or the idea and embracing something, even if it feels ridiculous. Sometimes those are the best ones, and you try to ground that, you know. And I think this show is a relative somehow of The Blacklist. There's a little bit of a case of the week aspect to it, although it's not a procedural. We try to have each episode feel like its own movie. You know, each episode sort of features one of the inmates. And so while we have that episodic feel, we've also got a longer overarching mystery that takes place over the course of the season. And so that hybrid, I think, is a fun space, and I think Blacklist fans will recognize and like that.
Yeah, something you achieved with the Blacklist that can't be understated is you created appointment television. And in an era of cable television when it was first beginning, I don't want to say it was ever easy, but easier when you didn't have the streaming competition. Yeah. Nowadays with streaming, the model has changed so much. The way we consume television is different. Those episodes of the week can lose viewers and they might pivot to another show. So with that in mind, how did your mindset shift going from a cable television series that was largely 20 plus episodes a season, running for multiple seasons, going now to a streaming series with 10 episodes, hour long, still weekly releases, but playing with a little bit of a different format?
You know, I think the format, I think we're still trying to understand what the format is, right? What streaming is. I think so. I think people are still, I as a viewer am kind of wondering, is an algorithm telling me what to watch? Am I finding stuff? How much of it's word of mouth? Some stuff breaks through, some stuff doesn't. And so for me, it really just becomes about what excites me, what's going to surprise me within this show. And that was honestly, that was the same thing with the Blacklist. It was like, what feels surprising? What makes me laugh? What feels unique? How can we take a sequence like the opening of this show, tell people from the very beginning, yeah, here's spectacular action in this crazy set piece, but it's set to Elvis singing Unchained Melody. Like, we're telling you right up front, this is a very specific tone and it's gonna be fun. And I try to let that be the guiding light, because I don't understand how shows find people. And the same thing sort of goes for network TV. There you have an opportunity to sort of see what people are reacting to, as opposed to a show dropping and this is all produced and finished. But I don't know, I think the best philosophy there is just follow your gut.
Yeah, how great is Apple as a partner?
It's been fantastic.
Like unreal, right?
We've had
quality, original programming. Like I can't toot the horn enough.
Yeah.
Every one of my friends, what streaming service you gotta get? Apple TV. Good. Man, everything is original and quality.
Apple TV Plus has been fantastic in that we've had more time, we've had more resources, we have this crazy idea of what this show is. They said, go do something big and fun, and they backed it up. You know, they delivered and let us do a really fun, unique, and I think different show for the service. I think it's a different kind of show for Apple, and I hope people find it.
Hell yeah, I hope it's the first of many collaborations. Until then, we got 10 weeks of fun with The Last Frontier.
Yeah.
John, thanks so much for your time.
Hey, thank you.
So for starters, Dominic, to go to you, we're finally getting a better understanding of who Havlock is, and obviously, it's you, it's Levi. You're the man behind the mystery in this series. He's set up as the big bad throughout this series, but there's also a great effort to humanize him, to show the good in him. Can you talk to me about that balance of riding the good and bad between who Levi/Havlock is?
Well, I forgot that he's seen as such an ominous, strange, murky, moral character. But I always played him as someone who was fighting for the good of the country and seeking the love of his life. I don't know whether I can give away who that is. And it was quite interesting to see some of the end product, because you realise that he's been really set up as the villain. I mean, if you think about how he's presented in the first, in the pilot with the hood and shackles, I mean, he's presented and talked of as one of the most monstrous people on the planet, you know, who's really terrified of him.
Those chains are reserved for like Bane, you know what I mean?
Right, they're for people who you're really real hardened criminals. And so the kind of my job always was, how am I going to make this guy likable? It's an uphill battle from the beginning that you're talked about as someone vile. I luckily didn't think too much about that, but I had to kind of weigh up what the audience knew at what point, because we're dealing with flashback. But I had a wealth of information. We had 10 scripts in front of us when we started, which was an absolute, was like gold, because you could refer back to, well, refer to the past and refer to the future and the present. So it was very enjoyable for that reason.
Yeah, you really like glasses.
My eyes have just gone. My eyes have reached that point of age where my eyes have got a spare brain.
This is wonderful. I noticed as you were talking, I was like,
and I'm in the process of cleaning them.
This is like Sunglass Hut over here.
Don't mention products.
Haley, to come to you, you danced around it, but we do know as of 103 that Sidney and Levi were married, or they have that relationship.
They are an item.
How did your perception of Sidney as a character change once you got that information?
I'm trying to remember if I knew all along. No, I guess I didn't. I was right there with the audience. So the relationship between Sidney and Levi begins as a kind of she recruits Levi as an asset for the CIA, and there is an attraction between them, and it was exciting to explore that throughout the flashbacks in the series, and they are each other's kind of intellectual equal, and every scene between them is like a chess game, and I loved that aspect of the characters, and also like getting to explore with a CIA agent, this woman, her sensuality and like this romance, this budding romance between them. That was a joy to have that opportunity to explore that with Dom. And then, kind of what that meant for Sidney in Alaska, like having to kind of destroy the love of your life and make these impossible decisions. It made that for a really interesting dynamic to explore on screen.
Dominic, I'll wrap with this. Mamma Mia 3 seems like we're making progress.
It does.
Are you
may
in?
have even shot it, you never know.
Ooh.
Are you in? You down?
No. Am I in? Would I be in? Is that the question? What have you heard? Have you heard something? I keep being told things, and I feel like I may have been not being told things.
Amanda's talking about it.
Yeah,
I know that there's always rumors of Sabrina Carpenter getting involved in the franchise.
I've got a great idea. I've got a storyline that I've approached them with. And
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got a great storyline for the next one. It's gotta. I'm not going to allow. I mean, I've reached out to the. I'm waiting. I've met the producer the other day, and Judy. I've texted.
Waiting for a call back.
I am waiting for the call back. The idea has not yet been launched into the arena of production.
Okay. Well, don't go wasting your emotion in Alaska.
Very good. Very good.
Let's save it for Mamma Mia 3. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna find your guy. And whatever else it is you're hiding.